Good afternoon. It's Sunday, May the 9th. I'm back in the reading nook after what seems like a week or so of intermittent showers, which have kept me indoors. But I've accumulated a big pile of parcels, and I have a nice hot cup of tea. And I'm going to take advantage of what is a bright and warm afternoon to open these and showcase them as I do. So let's go. So let's get to the next one. Well, I've got bad news about the next one. Basically, this was shoved through my letterbox like that, and I was very unhappy. So we'll find out what it is and how damaged it is, thanks to the postman. I like our postman normally, but not happy about this. Okay, see, this is Frostlands of the Fenrilik, a scarred land setting guide focused on the continent of Fenrilik. Take your adventures to the roof of the world with a supplement for the 5th edition of the world's most popular role-playing game. Adventure awaits in the frozen north. Frostlands of the Fenrilik is an expansion for the Scarred Lands 5th edition OGL that explores the frozen continent of Fenrilik. Known as the roof of the world, Fenrilik is a massive frozen tundra filled with unique creatures, dangerous weather, and deadly titan spawn. This book is created for this Slarecian Vault Community Content program, designed to not only permit your party to take their adventures to Fenrilik, but also to create your own Fenrilik content to release on the Slarecian Vault. Frostlands of Fenrilik includes information on history, geography, civilizations, and religions of Fenrilik, new rules for travel and survival in the Arctic wilderness, and new player options including 3 new races, 4 new subclasses, and 8 new spells, over a dozen new monsters, and guidelines for creating more. An introductory adventure designed to take a party from levels 1 to 3. So there we go. So that's quite a nice cover. Basically captures a bit of action and gets across the sort of like the choice of the blue and white colours, gives us sort of like a nice sense of atmosphere. Which could be underground in a cave, but it also could be up north in the depths of the ice plains in the frozen north. So this is, let me see, it's a supplement. Basically, Scarred Lands is currently published by Onyx Path Publishing as their Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition setting. I have the big monster book to look through at some point. This essentially is a supplement which has come off their community content program. The great thing about publishers allowing community content programs is it allows fans of their settings to be creative and to support the setting themselves, and to showcase how good how good their own content is. And usually it's fairly inexpensive. Obviously it takes time to produce, but once it's up there, it's available for other people to use and add to their own games. So many companies have got these community content programs. Obviously there's John Town's Compendium, Miskatonic Repository for RuneQuest, and Call of Cthulhu respectively for Chaosium. And then there is a program for from Free League Publishing for their titles, Symbaroum and Mutant Year Zero, for example. And then, of course, you have the DM's Guild which is its own, it's basically its own platform where contributors create numerous titles for Dungeons and Dragons. But this is, let's just say, you open up and you've got a nice bit of chapter. Welcome to Fenrilik, the roof of the world. And I mean, this looks good. I mean, you're automatically going. I mean, there is nothing amateur about the production values here. Nice artwork, good choice of colour, clean layout. And it looks neat, clean, tidy, and basic playable content use essentially like that. So you've got, what have we got in here? Don't have a map, but the welcome to basically you've got an explanation of the climate, the civilization, and various villages and locations, with the basic quick thumbnail descriptions. And then we go on to typical Fenrilik encounters. We've got an encounter table and environmental hazards there, such as fissures or geothermal vents. And we go on to, you've got a journal which runs throughout the issue as well. These are all quite useful, and obviously the problem, if you're using like a cursive writing style font, it's not always the easiest to read. Again, I really do like the artwork on here. Not just the colour, the black and white is nicely done as well. Yeah, nice wintry image there. And then you've got actual maps, location maps. So you've basically got the floor plans of an inn. Decent enough, not fantastic, but serviceable. I mean, don't take that as criticism. It works. So multiple taverns, warehouses, and then we go on to an next location to a gorge, several hundred miles long and well over a mile deep. It splits a fifth of the Fenrilik from the rest. There's a single permanent bridge over it at one point, and at the end of it you've got a description, a greater description of what's it like travelling in the gorge, climbing into the gorge, flora and fauna, the caverns, a village located near the gorge, and then some story hooks at the end. So you've got location, what can be found there. Here's some idea of basically what the player characters might encounter. Folk of Fenrilik. Again, decent artwork. And different racial types, including the Krampek, hardy underground survivors who have been oppressed. So you have. There are no new classes, but you've got subclasses. You've got a Bard College, College of Hope, a Monk tradition, Way of the Winter Soul. So Ranger, Archetype, Ice Walker, Sorcerer's Origin, Ushada Mart, which come from the primal spirits of Fenrilik. Perhaps they've chosen for a specific purpose or deity, destiny, and so on, or they're inherited from a Ushada Mart ancestor. And again, these modify the core classes in Dungeons & Dragons. They're not new. You've got a list of new magical items and spells, like a frost ring. Ring appears to be made from ice that does not melt and is always cold to the touch. It protects the wearer from the effects of environmental heat, though it does not reduce fire damage. Icicle Wand is a cylinder of ice that remains cold to the touch and does not melt. Has 5 charges, and you can cast things like Rare Frost, Cone of Cold, and so on, or Sleet Storm. And essentially, I mean, that's not anything we've not necessarily seen before in Dungeons & Dragons, but it is it's thematic at the very least. Okay, basically you've got spells like Fracture, which basically the worshippers of Chardon create the spell to inflict maximum pain upon the victims, immobilising them and rendering them harmless so they could take their time before further torture. And it snaps small bones, which is utterly nasty and cruel. And there's a little table for rolling on the bones. And you've got creatures of Fenrilik like the Blood Gardener, so on. Fell Deer are really nice, and really quite decent illustrations as well. I really liked that. That was really nice. Crawling Glacier, basically a sentient glacier. Frost Maiden. Rime Witch and Shimmer Snake. Again, nice illustrations. I mean, simple to basically, probably easy to use in your game. And then we come down to basically got to make some NPCs like a tribal chief. And these are always useful. You're basically just adding to a game. Ice Walker. Someone who lives out in the frozen wilderness. Moving on to the scenario itself, into the gorge. It's an interactive adventure designed for 4 to 6 characters at level 1, and it will take them into Fenrilik Soul City of Kova Kimru before taking them into the mysterious Tobor Gorge. That's fine. You actually got some maps of the gorge itself, some of the maps of the gorge itself. And I think that's the one thing I probably would say is missing from the area. There's no there's no area map specifically of the gorge. We do have a map at the back. I would have liked that a bit further forward, but I mean it is there. And what you get the impression here is sort of like essentially with the language types that they're looking at something which they're opting for a Finnish kind of style setting, or inspired, and that's really nice because essentially Northern European rather than sort of like classic Middle European sort of thing, and that's always different and always adds a different flavour. Some of the things obviously Tolkien drew upon as well. And finished rather than sort of like Swedish or Norwegian or something is always different as well. So that is Frostlands of Fenrilik, a community content program supplement for the Skarglands. Obviously available on drivethrurpg.com. I will review this in due course. I've obviously been sent this to review, and I like the look of it just going through on these pages. Thank you again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. If you've enjoyed this, then please do click the like button down below, and if you have any comments or feedback, do take the time to read them. And if you want to hear about more unboxings in the Nook, there will be more forthcoming, then please do subscribe. But in the meantime, thanks again for watching, and I'll be back soon with another unboxing in the Nook. Bye for now.